Episode 44, It Can Get Worse. Who's going on a date with you? On the other end of the phone, there was a long silence, followed by an abrupt hang-up. One could easily imagine the expression on Ning Xuelua's face and how she panicked and hung up after hearing that sentence. Haha. Little she, you're really wicked. That woman must be terrified by you. Lu Jingli praised with admiration. Is this considered wicked? You haven't seen the world. Today, I'll show you something even more wicked. Ning Shi hooked her lips, tapped her phone a few times, and the next moment, the recorded conversation between her and Ning Xuelua played. Yes, she recorded it. Originally, she intended to call Ning Xuelua in front of Suyen and let him listen to the conversation on speakerphone. However, Little Treasure changed her plans. Fortunately, the result was still the same. Ning Shi edited the recording a bit and sent it to Suyen, sighing regretfully, it's a pity this trick can only be used once. After today, Ning Xuelua will definitely be more cautious when talking to me. Well, using it once is enough. Anticipating that Ning Xuelua would deny everything, today she wanted to plant a seed of doubt in Suyen's heart. Later, she would just sit back and watch the show when the two dogs bite each other. Lu Jingli shivered and stammered, Little she, if I ever offend you in the future, just tell me. You can beat me up as much as you like, but please don't play these tricks on me. I'm scared. Ning Shi chuckled and straightforwardly said, rest assured. For the sake of your brother, I won't bother with you. Lu Jingli's eyes brightened at this response. My brother has such a big face? Ning Shi rolled her eyes at him. Of course. He's my boss and my benefactor. Anything for him, even if it means doing the work of an ox or a horse. Upon hearing this answer, Lu Tingxiao's eyes flashed with a hint of darkness, and all that remained was a pitch-black depth. Even though she had been extremely cautious, he could still clearly perceive the change in her attitude towards him tonight. From choosing Lu Jingli to accompany her into the hospital, to deliberately approaching Suyen and even displaying a seemingly indifferent attitude to provoke his rejection. Then, pretending to be unaware, she reminded him of his identity to distance herself from him. Similar to how he once subtly and silently made her unknowingly accept him, she now learned and applied the same methods to slowly distance herself from him. Undoubtedly, she was a very good student who could learn and apply what she learned. He was like a moth to a flame, trapped in a cage he created for himself. He knew what she was trying to do, but he was helpless. Late at night, at the Lu residence, Ning Shi lay on the large bed, counting sheep, but still couldn't find any drowsiness. So, she picked up her phone and opened WeChat. After scrolling through her friends' moments and spacing out for a while, she typed a line of text, I could have tolerated the darkness if I had never seen the sun. But now, the sun has illuminated my loneliness even more desolately. This line came from a poem by the female poet Emily Dickinson. For some reason, at this moment, she felt that it was exceptionally fitting for her mood. The first person to reply was Lu Jingli. Awoo, everything is reviving, spring is warm, and flowers are blooming. It's time for animals. Oh no. I smell the scent of love. Ning Shi twitched her lips. This guy, Lu Jingli, was too quick. Moreover, didn't he need to sleep at 3 in the morning? Unexpectedly, Jiong, who rarely stayed up late, was still awake and commented, sour to the point that my teeth are falling out. Ning Shi was about to retort to Jiong when she suddenly tensed her expression. She heard the sound of her room door being pushed open with a creak. Ning Shi instinctively put down her phone, held her breath, not out of vigilance or caution but nervousness. Because she recognized these footsteps as belonging to Lu Tingxiao. Why would Lu Tingxiao come to her at this hour? It was 3 in the morning. What was even more bizarre was that Lu Tingxiao's personality would never allow him to enter without knocking on the door. In the chaos of Ning Shi's mind, that familiar figure had already approached her bed. Her room was not lit, and there was no moon tonight, so the entire room was pitch black, and she could only see a blurry silhouette. The silhouette stood there silently, unmoving. Ning Shi's heart was pounding in her throat. She was not on high alert but nervous. She realized it was Lu Tingxiao's footsteps. At this moment, what did Lu Tingxiao want to do? It was 3 in the morning. Most strangely, with Lu Tingxiao's character, he would never enter without knocking on the door. As Ning Shi was in the midst of confusion, that familiar figure had already reached the edge of her bed. Her room was not lit, and tonight there was no moon, making the whole room pitch black, and she could only see a vague shadow. The shadow stood there quietly, motionless. Ning Shi's heart was pounding, and just as she was about to speak to break the torturous silence, a flash of realization crossed her mind. Lu Tingxiao suffered from sleepwalking. So, she almost blurted out what she wanted to say but quickly swallowed it back to avoid waking him up. But, what did he want to do? After about 5 seconds, Lu Tingxiao took another step forward, sat on the edge of her bed, lifted half of her blanket, and then, lay down beside her. Moreover, it didn't end there. Lu Tingxiao, as soon as he lay down, stretched out his long arm, pulled her into his arms, and held her tightly, as if hugging a pillow. Ningxi's cheek was forced to stick tightly to Lu Tingxiao's warm chest, above her head was his steady breathing, and around her waist was his burning palm. The entire space was filled with his refreshing scent mixed with a hint of light cologne. This was insane. She felt like she was going crazy. In her mind, Ningxi had already howled and sprinted for 800 miles, but in reality, she could only endure until she was almost internally injured. Back when Lu Tingxiao sleepwalked for the first time, she thought it was because of what one thinks during the day will appear in one's dreams at night. The next day, she even reminded Lu Tingxiao that he needed to find a woman. Now, she thoroughly understood. She understood the true meaning of what one thinks during the day will appear in one's dreams at night. So, could someone tell her what she should do now? Should she wait for Lu Tingxiao to leave by himself? It was acceptable when she didn't know anything before, but now, wasn't it inappropriate? Ningxi tentatively tried to move her body to break free, but the result was that she was soaked in sweat and almost breathless. The man remained completely still. She was afraid of waking him up, but she couldn't use too much force. Helpless, Ningxi finally compromised. Well, forget it. Let's just sleep. Anyway, he wouldn't remember anything when he woke up. Outside the window, a gentle breeze played with the dark clouds, and the moon peeked through the clouds, casting a radiant glow through the window. Lu Tingxiao's side profile, so close at hand, suddenly appeared in front of her. Ningxi's heart skipped a beat, and then instantly started pounding like a drum. She was afraid that jumping too much would wake Lu Tingxiao up. Whether it was the beautiful moon tonight or the person in front of her, Ningxi couldn't help but reach out and touch the man's cheek, eyebrows, nose, finally stopping at his thin lips. Afterward, Ningxi leaned in slowly, stopping just 1 centimeter away from the man's lips. To kiss or not to kiss? That was the question. Is it inappropriate to take advantage of someone in a vulnerable state? But who asked you to come to my bed? Can't blame me, right? Besides, you even bit me. I'm going crazy. What am I doing? I must be out of my mind. Ningxi murmured for a while and finally obediently lay back down. The man beside her finally relaxed his stiff body, but at the same time, there was a profound sense of loss in his heart. The feeling of being teased halfway and unable to reclaim the initiative was simply. However, in the next second, the girl who had given up and was lying obediently suddenly shifted. Then, 2 warm and soft lips unexpectedly pressed against his own. That slippery tongue lightly licked his lips, and her teeth tentatively bit down several times. She even boldly attempted to pry open his switch. Even someone as composed as Lu Tingxiao was on the verge of losing control. This feeling of being forcibly kissed while lying down and unable to regain control was simply miserable. The girl's kissing technique was quite poor, it was completely chaotic and messy. Yet, it instantly ignited a fire in his lower abdomen. After the kiss, Ningxi wiped her mouth, feeling satisfied as she lay back down. She muttered to herself, dazed by desire. I must be out of my mind. I couldn't resist taking advantage of this golden opportunity. At least now I can die with no regrets. Hearing these words, Lu Tingxiao didn't know whether to be angry or amused. Would just a kiss make her feel life was complete? Dear, your life goals are really too low. I wanted to give you more. After kissing Lu Tingxiao, Ningxi found it even more challenging to fall asleep. She reached for her phone and browsed entertainment news for a while. As she expected, Ning Snow immediately issued a statement, shifting all the blame to her assistant, Cui Kaijing, and positioning herself as the victim. However, Glory Media wasn't one to be trifled with, especially when it came to controlling public opinion. Under Liang Feixing's public relations, the current effect of Ning Snow's statement wasn't significant. Most people believed that Ning Snow was deliberately shifting blame, and it seemed unreasonable for an assistant to go to such lengths for a few scoldings. Some thought Ning Snow was venting her anger on behalf of Jia Qingqing, some believed she was jealous of Ningxi's looks, and there were even speculations that Su Yan often visited the set to see Ningxi, so Ning Snow wanted to get rid of her. In any case, Ning Snow's usually graceful and generous image took a severe hit. Apart from this, fans were most concerned about the future of the drama Heaven. This was also the thing Ning Shi cared about the most. The company was already handling it, but there was no definite response at the moment. Tomorrow, she should call Lin Jiji to inquire. After reading entertainment news, Ning Shi logged into Weibo and unexpectedly found that her followers had significantly increased after this incident. There were many new fans, and the comments were all encouraging and comforting words. Ning Shi thought for a moment, then edited a Weibo post and sent it out. Instead of caring about others' betrayals and negativity, it's better to cultivate your own dignity and beauty. Those things that can't kill us will eventually make us stronger. There were many night owls on Weibo. The comments, shares, and likes on her post were increasing rapidly. In less than 5 minutes, Jiong also reposted it, accompanied by a conventional expression of support. Fans below were excitedly screaming. The CP from the drama had unexpectedly become a reality in a company. Did that mean there was a chance for something to happen between them? To Ning Shi's surprise, the top comment in the hot comments section under her Weibo post, besides the supportive and gossip-related comments, was, "Goddess, goddess. I just saw that Lu Tingxiao actually reposted a Weibo related to you. Have you ever seen Lu Big Boss at Glory Entertainment? Have you ever talked to him? Is he handsome? Please share photos. Please give us some benefits." Ning Shi was speechless. "Have I seen Lu Big Boss? Of course, I have. He's lying next to me, you foolish humans. Share photos? No way. A goddess should keep her treasures to herself." Ning Shi continued to mutter to herself while scrolling through her Weibo, becoming more energetic with each passing moment. Oh, I shouldn't have checked Weibo when I couldn't sleep. What she needed right now was an advanced mathematics textbook. Just as she was lamenting, her phone suddenly received a call. The caller ID showed Jiong, and luckily, she had just put her phone on silent. Ning Shi answered the call in a hushed voice. "Hello, what's up? I was going to ask you the same thing. Why aren't you sleeping so late?" Jiong replied. "The same reason you aren't." Ning Shi retorted. "Why is your voice so low?" Jiong asked suspiciously. "It's late. Do you want me to shout at you?" Ning Shi replied. "No. Something's not right?" Jiong sounded like Sherlock Holmes, sure of himself. "There's someone else with you." Ning Shi cursed silently in her heart and then confidently said, "I'm sleeping with Little Bun." "What's wrong with that? Why are you so surprised?" "Really?" Jiong suddenly felt like he had imagined too much. "I didn't ask casually. By the way." Ning Shi suddenly remembered something, frowned, and asked, "How's the situation at your place?" Jiong remained silent for a while and then answered, "It's almost resolved. After I met you last night, the uncooperative business partner suddenly agreed. Quite a coincidence." The implication was that Lu Tingxiao might have guessed something. "All right then." Ning Shi sighed in relief. "Are you free tomorrow?" Why?" Jiong asked. "Oh, forget it then." Ning Shi pretended to hang up. "Wait. But tomorrow might be convenient. What do you need?" Jiong hastily asked. Ning Shi casually suggested, "Tomorrow is the beginning of autumn, and the weather is nice. We don't have to film, so how about going out and having some fun?" "What?" Jiong almost thought he had misheard. After all, since returning to China, she had been avoiding him like a plague. What conspiracy do you have this time? Why so many questions? If you don't want to go, forget it." Ning Shi said as if she was about to hang up. Wait. It's convenient for me tomorrow." "What's going on?" Jiong asked anxiously. Ning Shi casually said, "Tomorrow is the beginning of autumn, and the weather is nice. We don't have to film, so how about going out and having some fun?" "What?" Jiong almost thought he had misheard. After all, since returning to China, she had been avoiding him like a plague. What conspiracy do you have this time? Why so many questions? If you don't want to go, forget it." Ning Shi said as if she was about to hang up. Wait. It's convenient for me tomorrow." "What's going on?" Jiong asked anxiously. Ning Shi replied, "Let's go." Late at night. In the girl's long, rhythmic breathing, the man finally slowly opened his eyes, his deep eyes calm and serene like a tranquil pool. Under the moonlight, he quietly watched the girl's serene and tranquil sleeping face, gently kissing her lips. From the moment he first saw her, He wanted to keep her locked at home, confined to the bed, not allowing her to go anywhere, not letting anyone else look at her, only he could look, and only he could. Even he was surprised at how he managed to endure until now. After a light kiss, the man pried open the girl's teeth, forcefully entwining her tongue until the girl frowned, almost waking up due to the lack of breath. After a while, he finally let go, touching the girl's cheek and sighing almost inaudibly. Ningxi, don't test my patience anymore. I can't guarantee how much longer I can endure. I can't guarantee what I might do. The next morning, Ningxi didn't know exactly when she fell asleep last night, but when she woke up, Lu Tingxiao was no longer in bed. Because she slept so late, it was almost 9 o'clock when she woke up. There were numerous missed calls from Jiong on her phone, along with WeChat messages scolding her for standing him up again. Ningxi scratched her head, sent a text message to Jiong asking him to come over, then freshened up and went downstairs. Lu Tingxiao had already left for work, and Little Treasure didn't disturb her sleep. He was sitting obediently on the sofa, reading a book. Baby, come here. Ningxi beckoned to Little Treasure. Little Treasure immediately put down the book and ran over. Ningxi lifted the little guy. Does baby want to go out and play with Auntie today? Little Treasure's face lit up with joy, vigorously nodding. At this moment, a car honked outside the front gate. Ningxi took Little Treasure outside. When Jiong saw Ningxi, he was momentarily stunned. She had her hair tied in a ponytail today, wearing overalls, a cartoon-printed white t-shirt underneath, and carrying a single-shoulder bag. She looked like a student. Let's go, Ningxi said, holding Little Treasure, ready to get into the car. Jiong stared at the little guy beside her and said, Don't tell me you brought this kid on a date. Ningxi rolled her eyes. Who's on a date with you? I'm taking Little Treasure out for an autumn outing and a picnic. Jiong widened his eyes. Then why did you call me here? Of course, to drive. After thinking about it, you're the only one relatively free today, she said. Lu Corporation was involved in some major deals again, and Lu Tingxiao and Lu Jingli had become busy lately. Jiong was speechless. Are we going or not? The sun will set soon, Ningxi urged. Jiong reluctantly started the car. Aren't you afraid we'll be recognized? A little disguise won't hurt, Ningxi replied. Jiong looked at her with a strange expression. Disguise as what? A family of 3? What's wrong with that? I'm the sister, Little Treasure is the brother, and as for you, what am I? The dad? Disgusting. You're the driver. Remember to go to the supermarket first. We need to buy a barbecue grill, meat, and drinks, Ningxi reminded. I got it, Jiong replied with a face full of dark clouds. This scoundrel, she knew he was setting him up. After shopping at the supermarket, Ningxi found a secluded spot by a small river with a beautiful view. She happily taught Little Treasure how to skewer meat while Jiong fished with a fishing rod. As he fished, he sang, Today is a sunny day, but you appeared with your little brother. When I saw his face, my mood instantly turned gloomy, like a wound being salted. Ningxi interrupted, That's enough. Sing something cheerful for once. Today, the weather is clear, and everywhere is beautiful scenery, beautiful scenery.